What is up, everybody? Welcome to Perspective Gaming. I'm your host, Flame078, logging in from the real world to give you perspective, or more specifically, getting perspective. This video series tackles something that's been on my mind, and then I spell out my takes, and then afterwards we have a discussion in hopes to better understand ourselves. Today's topic: Fortnite Battle Royale is great, but it has a great flaw, and that is that it's free. Let's get to it. The rise of Battle Royale is one of the coolest things I've seen in gaming in a long time, and it's been one of my favorite new genres, or specifically new type of shooters, to play. I fell in love with the intensity that Battlegrounds has to offer, and when Fortnite Battle Royale came around, I loved how creative and fun and arcadey it felt, and it was a good change of pace from the action that I was getting from Battlegrounds. I loved both games. I even made a video talking about the comparison about the two and how I felt about each, which, if you want to know about that, I'll leave a link down below. These games are fun and are part of my current cycle of games that I like to play. But, though I don't believe one game is better than the other, there is one game that is always on my go-to list when I sit down for a game session. And you may find this hard to believe, considering the rest of the world it's on this game's shit. But Fortnite is not that game. Battlegrounds is still my go-to since release, and especially since it came out on Xbox. I play it there a hell of a lot. And this is because I have Xbox buddies that enjoy the game a lot, and I have PC buddies that enjoy it a lot too. Xbox is fun because all my friends love it, and on PC they're changing things up and spicing things and adding things to make me keep playing it, like adding the war mode to it or the new map that I'm allowed to test. Those things keep me engaged and invested. I think the last time I looked, I had a little over or under 100 matches in Fortnite. I enjoy that game. I love trying to do the challenges. I just love dicking around in solo, but I just find myself not wanting to play as much. The urge, the feeling, that compelling necessity to come home and sit down and play Fortnite is not there. So I started to wonder, why is that? At first glance, I chalked it up to the fact that Battlegrounds offers that serious, competitive experience that I wanted, and especially those matches get more intense when you're playing with buddies. But looking closely, the gameplay and the serious factor of Battlegrounds wasn't it. Because if that were the case, then I wouldn't touch Fortnite. But when I pick up Fortnite, I end up sinking just as long sessions in Fortnite as I do Battleground, if I'm comparing the session times versus, overall play time. Once I get into the rhythm, I get sucked in, I enjoy it, I'm having a blast. The same elements are there. I get addicted to trying to do better, and because it's so quick to get into matches, I'm in and out like that. So if it's not the gameplay that's the core issue, then what is it? Then it dawned on me while doing a big pirate session on Thieves with my friends the other day. My buddies and I were just talking about gaming, how gaming used to be, games we like to play now, stuff like that. One of our buddies mentioned that Fortnite is his go-to game and he loves playing it and they can't put it down. And I said to him, that's kind of funny because I'm in the reverse where I can't put down Battlegrounds. And he was like, damn, why? It's free. And that's when it clicked. I believe I don't enjoy, you know what, that's not the right word, sorry. Not enjoy, that is the wrong expression. I believe the reason why that urgency or compelling feeling to try to play Fortnite stems from the fact that it is free. Thinking about it more and how I am when it comes to reviewing games, I look about the value and time as big components to being worth it. I even stated in my game review series worth the time. The content available on release, and the duration and longevity I think the game can get. And at the end of that, I will tell you if you pick up the game, you should pick up the game but no rush, or there are conditions, or you can pass up on the game. But let's stop wasting time and let's get right into it. Now, hear me out. I know this sounds a bit weird, but let's try to break it down. As an adult, gaming is something I need to make sure I feel I get something back and my money well spent. It's like the hours I suck in have to match the price tag. But really more importantly, if I spend money on something, I will make sure to use it and play it and get my money's worth as much as possible. And to an extent, I think we all do this. If you're renting a bike in Central Park, are you gonna stop an hour and 30 minutes in? No, you're probably going to stay on that bike until the very last second until you have to return it, because you want to make sure you get your money's worth. And if you're getting 2 hours worth of time, you want to get 2 hours worth of enjoyment. Gaming is kind of the same thing for me. If a game is good, I want to play it as much as I can. I mean, for single player titles, it's kind of easy. All you need to really do is make sure that you beat the game and ensure that as a developer, your game is compelling and has a good narrative. For online games, it's a little bit different, and especially now since the trend of making games as a service, which extends games' lives for much longer, they're trying to keep you in there as much as possible. Take for example Overwatch. I still jump into this game from time to time. Whenever they release new characters, I jump in to play as a character for a bit, or just jump around and do a little bit of arcade. I mean, the game is still a lot of fun. I mean, I keep saying to myself, I want to jump back into being competitive, but that's just not going to happen because I don't have the time to be focused and disciplined to play on the level that I used to when it first came out. But what's great about Overwatch all this time later is that it still gives me a reason to come back. Just the other day, I logged in to play Retribution, their new PvE mode, which had some new story content to it, and that's exciting to me. I like playing those events because they're usually a lot of fun and very challenging. This is the stuff that keeps me going and why I'm getting into the mentality of, hey, maybe I should jump back into this game I used to play. We'll see. Maybe this could be like a video series or something. But anyways, you might counter that by saying Fortnite has events too. They have holiday events that you could do and stuff. And I'm right. That's absolutely correct. But for me, since I didn't pay for the game, technically, I don't feel like I need to stay on top of anything that goes on in that game. I paid for Overwatch years ago, and by this point, I definitely played my money's worth, but the sensation of earning that money back or playing the value doesn't really go away. And this is why I played Battlegrounds more than Fortnite. I dropped, about $60 between 2 copies of the game for Xbox and PC, and like Overwatch, I definitely by this point have earned the supposed value of purchase. But the thing is, I feel invested in the games that I purchase. I want to play the games as much as possible. That is the underlying thing in all of this. Of course, there are small things here and there that affect this decision as well. For example, if you were to break down the bare bones of this, Fortnite and Battlegrounds offer you the same experience, just like COD is to Battlefield. I chose Battlefield over COD because I liked Battlefield's gameplay a lot more. The same thing is true for Battlegrounds and Fortnite. I chose Battlegrounds over Fortnite because I enjoy the gameplay experience more in terms of what I like to play daily. There's also a contributing factor that I have a core group of Battleground players on either PC or Xbox that I can hit up at any time to play. Whereas Fortnite, it's a little bit hard for me to get a group, and for me, social gaming is a big thing. Though Fortnite's greatest strength is that I do enjoy playing solo in that game a lot more than I do playing Battleground solo. So in retrospect, these other issues aren't really bad, and they can be offsetted, and sometimes they are offsetted. But for me, is why would I try to offset the things that I don't like about Fortnite when it's free? I can play this whenever I want. I can log in a month from now and play. I can log in 3 months from now and play. I'm not going to be missing much. It's just going in and playing. Though on a purchase game, what you're losing is value. And this especially hits home for online games or games as service like Battlegrounds and Fortnite. Battlegrounds and Fortnite are on a timetable. They're not going to have infinite player pools. They're not going to have player bases that are going to last for a very long time. So the longer you go without playing the games, the chances are when you try to come back, the game might not be good enough to have the players to enjoy the game as you could, right? Eventually people are going to move on. So my thing is, get the money worth now because you paid for it versus later. And on that, this is even made more apparent with another game, another Battle Royale game. What was it called? Radical Heights. It is also free. What the hell? I said, let's jump in. And once again, it has a core gameplay like the others. But I think it has some things that it does better in my opinion, like the map grid system and their loot, how they do the loot system. It is fun and it was very enjoyable, even though it was a hot buggy mess, and it is clearly an obvious cash grab. But this is all that free to play does for me. It's a quick, easy way to get into a new experience without any cost to me. But in the long term, games like this won't get the attention they need at least for me, to play, because as long as there is a game that I paid for with a similar experience, I will most likely go and play that game. And alrighty, that is the end of this video, Getting Perspective. Now it is the time I turn it over to you. What do you think? Do you agree or disagree with me? Obviously, I think there are exceptions to what I'm talking about. One being, I think if the game's kind of trash, even if it's paid for, I will stop playing for. Destiny 2. But what other exceptions would there be? Let me know all this and more in the comment section down below, and let's get perspective. If you like this video, please hit that like button and share with your friends. I would greatly appreciate that. Also, check out my other videos, and if you like the content here, please hit that subscribe button. You will get weekly content on Tuesday and Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern. Though the best way to keep up to date with video release schedules, my thoughts, or even reach out to me for video recommendations is to follow me on Twitter. Link to that will be down below. This is Perspective Gaming. I'm your host Flame078, logging off for now, and until next time, adios.